I've been meaning to do a Star Wars build for a while now, but I just didn't get around to it. I didn't want to build a ship or a battle scene, just a moment from the first movie that stuck with me. A little place called Mos Eisley where everything really starts to unfold. You know, it's the first time we really see what the galaxy is. Aliens packed into dark corners, deals happening behind closed doors, stormtroopers, bounty hunters, smugglers, all in one place. I don't know, I might turn this into a trilogy, maybe one build for each of the original films. But I'm not sure what would be next yet, maybe something from Hoth. If I make it to the third build, I'll probably still be finding sand in everything because, you know, it gets everywhere. I didn't expect this to be the first thing I built, a random background speeder from a wide shot. You never really see this speeder up close in the movie. It's there for maybe 2 seconds, parked out of focus, no dialogue, and no driver. But it's got full coverage here. Tons of stickers everywhere, shaping, angles, textures, engines, all for something that doesn't matter. And if it got this much attention, I can't wait to see the space trash cans. This is where the action happens, the cantina bar, without any drinks, taps, or clutter yet. Just the bones, simple layout, clean lines. Feels almost too polished for a place full of spilled drinks and bad decisions. Still, you can tell that this is the centerpiece. Everything in here orbits around this spot. And the server from the cantina is mad at you for ordering pretty much anything. This bar actually matters. It's the first place where Luke realizes that the galaxy isn't safe. It only gets worse from here. Like, pretty much right away. Thankfully, we have someone that knows how to handle a situation like this, one way or another. Next up, we need to build the booths that are very important to the story. They're nothing fancy, but they're tucked into the wall like it's meant for quiet conversations. The kind where nothing good ever follows, especially when dealing with big muscle and big mouth. This is the part of the story where things start to shift, but it's the first time Luke sees just how messy the galaxy really is. It's loud and tense. Nothing about it feels like home anymore. There's criminals, creatures, and stormtroopers. This is where the adventure actually starts, and there's no going back. The build's starting to take shape now. What was just booths and plates earlier, it's starting to feel like an actual space. The layout is getting clearer and we're finally inside the cantina. But we do have more stories that are about to unfold. And here we have our small and stubborn little robot that somehow always gets in the middle of everything when he's just rolling through. While thanking my patrons, I'd like to question our sanity around C-3PO's leg. Turns out he's had one silver leg since the very first movie. Most people just forget. Classic Mandela effect stuff. You all help support builds like this being possible, but you'll never change my mind about his golden leg. Or the Berenstein Bears. And apparently our two robot friends are already wanted simply for existing. Now we're closing out the other side of the cantina with similar parts in the same shape, but it pulls the whole space together. Find a seat, keep your head down, and hope that nobody recognizes you. Tucked behind the bar is this little stockroom, probably where they keep whatever passes for supplies out here. We are in a desert. It's nothing fancy and barely enough space to stand, but it adds to the place like people actually work here, even if they really don't want to. Alright, it's built, but now the tension walks in. This part looks like it's for support and feels important. But once it's on, nothing really changes. If it holds the chaos in, I guess it's doing its job. This little side section added to the exterior looks like storage, it's hard to say. But it feels like the kind of place you'd get told employees only right before getting thrown out. This part didn't go quietly. Snapped in half and nearly took my hand with it. Honestly, pretty fitting for a cantina. I carried on and still got it built. No blood, but it did bruise my pride just a little. Here we have two stormtroopers. They never hit anything, but they still managed to ruin everyone's night. I have no idea what this thing is called, but it definitely looks like it scans things and then tells you that you're not allowed in. It's got that quiet, judgmental energy. Probably just patrols the lot all day, making everyone uncomfortable. And if it beeps at you, you definitely did something wrong, even if you know you didn't. Building another one of these now and trying not to think about what the last one did to me. It's progress. Emotional, not physical. I'm a huge fan of whatever this guy is, but he is missing something very important. Now that he's got his chompers, let's build a saddle for him to make the ride more comfortable. But before we let him go, just one more time. But since we are in a desert, he does need a place to drink water and chew on a bone. And this seems like the perfect spot for that. And it seems like someone's planning a deal or a getaway, so let's go ahead and put this safely in this bag. The cantina gets all the attention, but Mos Eisley is full of spots like this. Small, sand-colored buildings with no signage and one weird back room. Could be a trader's home, could be a side hustle, could just be where someone keeps extra droid parts. This whole city runs on side stories. Most of them never make it to the screen, but they make the world feel real. You kinda get the sense that every building here has a story that you're not supposed to ask about. It's not glamorous or clean, but it's alive. But before I could call this build perfect, there's a couple things I need to take care of. Now you can't tell a story without the old man. This is where Luke starts to understand what he's a part of. It's where he begins to hear the tales of Obi-Wan's journeys, where a dusty little trinket turns into a Jedi's weapon. It's quiet here, just sand, memories, and one of the most important messages in cinematic history. It's not a showy build, but it is where a timeless story has its ultimate beginning. But we also need to get around. And thankfully, the past version of me properly put on all of the stickers. You know, these smaller builds are more my speed. It's where I can really show off my building techniques. This isn't the fastest ship in the galaxy, but it was Luke's way out. His whole world was moisture farms and the speeder, until two droids showed up and everything changed. Not bad for something that basically runs on hope. And a lot of duct tape. The band's here, along with all of the regulars which happen to be outlaws. And no one's smiling, which feels exactly right for this place. And if you don't remember who this is, that's fine. I don't think anybody does. But even casual fans know who this guy is. Another side structure which is small, simple, with no clear purpose, which honestly fits Mos Eisley. This whole city is built like a patchwork. Shops, storage, homes, no real layout. Just whatever survived the last dust storm. It might not be the star of the scene, but builds like this make the world feel lived in. They feel more complete, like someone is definitely hiding something behind that door. But it was this point where I put all the finishing touches together and decided that the build was indeed perfect.